for me, dance for me. Can I have a spot?
Let's think about it, Blaze.
Oh, no, apparently not.
Just a little bit.
Just a wee baby spot.
Come on, scoot over. Come here.
Good luck. You just welcomed him to your face. Well, he
barely
he
moved.
got closer to you, but his ass stayed in the exact
got
same
longer.
spot. Hi, welcome to Rachel Uncensored, one of the few places on the internet that you can find an uncensored version of me. Hello, I'm Rachel, and I'm here with my best friend, Miss Joyous Joy.
Hello. I'm taking off his collar.
Oh, thank you. And of course, dog of the day is Mr. Blaze Boy.
Mr. Blaze Boy. How you doing today, Blaze?
I would like to lick your face, same as always. He's not a dog that does. He doesn't surprise me ever.
Brett's a stinky today.
Oh no, I haven't given him one of his dental bones in a long time. Hey, because they make his gums bleed.
Yeah, well, technically dental bones aren't even good for them, so you're not missing out.
I give up.
Yeah, they cause like cancer and stuff.
I give up.
Yeah.
I'm not doing the greenies. I'm doing the collagen bones.
Oh, yes. Okay.
The ones
I was thinking greenies.
Oh, no, I'm
Yeah.
not doing greenies.
Okay. I was thinking greenies.
No. I give him the collagen
Yes.
bones because it scrapes the plaque off their teeth because they're chewing so hard. But I have to give him the aggressive chewer ones.
Supposedly, I heard if you put some coconut oil in their kibble, it helps because it's a antibacterial.
I'm putting it on the grocery list.
Yeah. Just put a little coconut oil in their kibble.
I'm doing it. I often, whenever I write things on the grocery list, Abby and I, the best thing you can do if you and your partner live together is to create a shared notes app with the grocery list.
Dylan and I do that.
And it's so easy because we'll just put, and whoever happens to be at the grocery store can look at it. But when I put things on, I'll put like shredded carrots and then in parentheses I say for the dog. So she knows to get the cheaper one, or if they're out, it's not a big deal.
Smart.
I put what it's for.
Dylan and I have a couple different notes apps that we share to help keep certain things organized.
It's smart.
It helps. Yeah.
I've tried to do it with to-do lists for Abby, like for her to put on for me, because I like to know when there's things I need to be done, because sometimes I'm just blind to them. But we never use that one.
Yeah.
It's always just the grocery list one.
You get that stuff done pretty well.
Coconut oil. For
you can buy a huge thing
dogs.
of it too at Trader Joe's, at any store.
She just walked in. Babe, do we have coconut oil at the house? No. Can you grab some? Yes. It's apparently good for the dog's teeth, so I'm going to start putting it in their
breath.
food. And their breath. Yeah. All right.
I'll definitely do that.
Abby's going to the store to make us dessert.
Yay!
We
Brownie!
win! Yay!
Naughty night.
Love you. All right. On to, let's read. One of the 101 things that pissed me off.
I'm surprised you haven't read through that whole book yet.
I'm almost there. I'm at 91. I only have 10
you're
left.
almost there. Yeah.
Oh, wait. No. I'm on 90. So I only have 11 left.
Nice.
11 more weeks of this, and then we're done. And then someone suggested I read joke of the day kind of stuff.
Yeah, smart.
Yeah, it's cute. All right, number 90. You know what pisses me off?
What, Rachel?
How convincing I am in the morning. I don't know what this means, so let us read.
You don't remember writing this one?
No, I don't remember writing any of this. There's sometimes it triggers a story that I go, oh, this is about this time. But
yeah.
And it reads, in the morning, I'm the most convincing person on the planet. I've talked myself into sleeping through work, school, Disneyland, catching a flight, appointments with doctors, and much more. I could be the best lawyer ever as long as I was arguing a case to get someone more sleep. Unless the trial was in the morning, in which case I would definitely sleep through it.
That's so funny.
It's crazy that the older I get, the more the nighttime me still refuses to learn that morning me is not the same person.
Yeah.
And I try now to be like, you're not going to want to do the dishes in the morning. Do them tonight.
Yeah.
But I'm always, I'm going to wake up at 7.
Got it.
Or 6.
Yeah.
And I'm going to get it fucking done.
Tomorrow's going to be that one random day I have in the month where I'm like, oh, I'm doing everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to work out. I'm going to run.
Yeah. You gas out yourself. You're like, you get in bed. You're like, I'm feeling so good about tomorrow already.
Yeah.
I'm so accomplished.
You're like, I'm going to wake up before the sun and go on a hike and watch the sunrise from the top of a mountain. Because I can do that as a female. Yeah, go out and hike at night.
Right. Because that's safe.
So yeah, that in the morning though, the fact is, I don't even convince myself to go to sleep, back to sleep. I literally just don't hear my alarms. I just don't hear them.
You sleep through them?
I sleep through
them. So
them.
you're a heavy sleeper.
Oh, I'm a good sleeper.
Yeah, I don't think I could sleep through an alarm.
Abby,
I have before, but not recently.
I slept through an extremely important Spanish presentation my senior year of high school, and I had to lie my way out of it. I have definitely almost missed a flight, and my roommate at the time pounded on my door like 10 minutes after we were supposed to leave. And he's like, "Are you awake?" I was like, "Shit!"
Oh my
Luckily,
goodness!
I had packed the day before, but yeah, I just sleep through it.
That's so.
I think I used to wake up and be like, oh, 5 more minutes.
Yeah.
That's the biggest lie you tell yourself.
Oh, absolutely. Especially if you keep hitting snooze. That just makes it harder.
Oh, yeah. And if you accidentally turn off your alarm, you think you hit snooze.
That's when I fuck up, is when I've accidentally turned my alarm off.
Oh, God. But luckily, Abby is the world's lightest sleeper. Actually, that's terrible for her. I wish she wasn't. Because also, if I just turn over at night, she wakes up.
Yeah, me too.
But I've told her, hey, my alarm's going off at 7. You need to make sure I'm up, because my alarm goes off at 7. She's fucking up.
Yeah,
she is up.
Yeah,
and so she just has to wake me up, and then I can get up.
That's the same thing Dylan tells me, except his alarm goes off at 5:30.
That's disgusting.
Yeah, so I'm just used to getting up at that time.
Our friend Zara came over and was like, "Oh, I'm trying this thing where I work out in the morning, so I've been waking up earlier so I can work out in the morning and then start my day, because it's so much. It is
so much better to do that,
because you can manipulate yourself and gaslight yourself to be like, oh, I'll work out later. I'll work out later.
Dylan and I did that for like the first 2 years of our relationship. We went to 24-hour fitness every morning at 5 a.m.
Yeah, I asked her, what time are you waking up? 6? She goes, no, 5. Mm-hmm. Oh no.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I'm waking up at 7:30.
We tried working out a couple times, but we have to get up at 4:30.
No.
So it just doesn't
You
work.
woke up while I'm in the middle of REM.
Doesn't work.
Of course it doesn't.
It doesn't work.
Yeah, if he doesn't travel for work, but he has a long commute.
Yeah.
But if he worked here and went to
different.
it would be very different.
Yes.
You could wake up at 6 and go work out.
Yeah.
And then
yeah.
Also, I only do half-hour workouts. People do 45-minute hours. I'm like, oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
You've lost my attention.
When I used to work out very regularly, my friend, she was the one who got me on that. She said 30 minutes is all you need, because anything longer than that, you're just going to burn yourself out.
Yeah.
And it was great.
Yeah, I love it. None of my workouts last longer than 30 minutes. Some of them are only 20. And as long as I get in the gym and I keep grooving and I keep grooving, it's all good.
Just stay consistent.
But yeah, I'm a very convincing morning person, to the fact that I don't even need to convince myself anymore. I just sleep through it. So thank God for my girlfriend. Okay, I have a fun thing planned for today. We'll see how it goes, but knowing us, it just is going to start a conversation. I've been seeing a lot of TikToks and Insta Reels where they say, in the comments, tell me blank. And some of them are very funny. So I've decided to read some of them and just, get our reactions, start a thing, start a story.
Heck yeah.
Okay, this one says, give me your most unhinged cleaning hacks. I'm not talking about, quote unquote, clean for 10 minutes every day or clean as you go. Give me your most unhinged, feral things you've done to help yourself clean. And I saw this and I was like, who the fuck? Like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
And then I read the comments.
Okay.
And I stopped.
Yeah.
Because, the first one that I think is so just normal that this happens.
Okay.
I get mad at my husband. And then that makes her clean. And I've seen a lot of people do that. And
yeah,
I'm like,
for sure.
Yeah.
Cleaning is a good outlet.
Yes. Someone said, when I was 22 and partying a lot, I would come home from the bars and clean my house absolutely wasted. When I woke up, I barely remember it. So it's like I had a cleaning fairy.
That's so funny.
Punishment by big light. You turn on the big light and you can't turn it off until you're done. A lot of people hate the overhead lighting.
Oh, really?
Everyone hates the big light. I love big light.
Yeah, you do like your lights
I
on.
love it. I bought this one, made me die. I was like, how do you think of this? I bought myself a maid cosplay outfit on Amazon and pretended I owed a lot of money to the mafia, and it was the only way to work it off. She had to like really like trick herself into cleaning. Yes. Like, I'm like, I know you do some fucking kinky role play
My best
shit
cleaning moments are when I have something really important I have to get done.
Yeah, a lot of people were saying I invite people over to my house and then I frantic clean. Well, this one said, I thought this was funny. I say to myself, what if I'm murdered? And then photos of my house end up on a true crime documentary and random people see how messy it is and think I'm dirty.
Yeah.
And that's what motivates me to clean.
That's so funny.
I watch an episode of Hoarders and then 600-Pound Life and boom, I'm cleaning and going to the gym.
One thing Dylan is learning about me is that I basically have to clean the bathroom every time before I take a shower.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. I sweep the floor. I don't want any hair, any specks of anything. I don't want to step out of that tub and my newly washed feet step on anything. So I clean the floor and then I clean the tub. And usually I'll clean the sink a little too.
How often do you shower? Everyone's different. Some people shower once every other day. Some people shower every day, every 3 days.
I want to say it definitely depends on the day, and on the activities I'm doing. But if it's just a regular day, I'm not really being that active. I would say, and I don't like to shower at night. I don't like to go to bed with wet hair.
I will not wash my hair before bed. I might rinse off.
If sometimes I do that, but I usually will like to shower right after I'm done working.
Yes.
So probably once a day, but there are some days where I'll shower the next morning.
Do you
or something.
clean the whole bathroom every time?
Yeah, I have to.
I mean, respect.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not getting down in the dirt, but I'm definitely sweeping and vacuuming the floor. I spray some of the cleaner in the tub and rinse it out with hot water. And then I clean the sink because I know I'm going to do my face and my hair and everything there.
Wow.
Yeah. I just don't, if I'm going to come out of the shower and feel clean, I want the area that's around me to feel clean.
Respect. I like that. Okay, sure. I'm going to keep reading a couple
Happens
more.
when you have animals too, I think.
Dude, the fur... I just
you feel
the fucking fur, man. We have the Roomba that goes, but we have a divider between our front door and the living space. Mm-hmm. So in our house, you walk in the front door and you go right down the hallway to all the rooms. And if you keep going straight, you have to pass a divider, and then it's the living spaces. Mm-hmm. So the Roomba can't get to the hallway or the bedrooms because of that divider, which is fine because it would get lost. Yeah. The house is huge, and humbly speaking, but that means that I have to physically take the vacuum and go vacuum the hallway and the bedrooms, or Abby does. And we just forget. I run the Roomba and I'm like, I vacuumed.
Yeah.
And it gets so fucking gross because all of it goes to the sides and you can start seeing it build up. Yeah. And it's one of those things where you don't notice it till you go to bed.
It's like little dust bunnies that are just stuck in the little corners and crevices. And when you sweep it all together, it becomes this giant dust bunny.
Yeah. I mean, I don't use a broom anymore because I felt like it was just flying in the air. I only vacuum. I only vacuum. But I just did that before you came over because I was so fucking sick of seeing it.
Yeah.
And that's usually what it is. It's until I can't stand it anymore.
Yeah.
I have a few things I do every single morning for cleaning. I always make sure all the dishes are washed or the clean ones that are already out that were washed the night before are put away.
Yeah.
I wipe down the counter and I pick up the dog poop. Those are the things I do every single day. Those are my chores.
Yeah.
And then everything else, I just let it build up until I'm like, that's disgusting.
It's time to do something.
How dare this happen in my household? Okay, I'm going to go to a different one of the things I've had. Okay. This one said, actually, before we do that, let's check to see if we have a sponsor for today. Sponsor. Home Chef. Home Chef is our sponsor for today. These days, it feels like there's no price difference in eating out versus staying in. And to make matters even worse, there are so many unhealthy options out there to sift through. You don't know what's in your food when you order at a restaurant. But Home Chef can help you save money and eat healthier with their fresh, delicious meal kits delivered straight to your door. You don't even have to leave your house. And users of leading meal kits have rated Home Chef #1 in quality, convenience, value, taste, and recipe ease. Plus, it's economical. Home Chef customers save an average of $86 per month on groceries. And they have over 30 options a week and serve a variety of dietary needs. And for a limited time, Home Chef is offering my listeners 50% off and free shipping on your first box, plus free desserts for life. Go to homechef.com/Rachel. That's homechef.com/Rachel for 50% off your first box and free dessert for life. homechef.com/Rachel. I mean, you must be an active subscriber to receive the free dessert. Okay.
Oh my God.
Did you spill coffee all over your boobs?
I sure did.
Oh, well, it's black.
Yeah, true.
All right, you're going to love this one.
Okay.
I'm bored. Tell me the worst thing you've said that hurt his ego. These are fucking
I'm so
brutal. I'm not condoning bullying, but I am condoning serving what was given. He told me to follow this female fitness influencer for tips to lose weight. I told him to check out Owen Gray because he could offer some tips too. He said, okay, and we never spoke again.
I saw that one. That one's a good one.
He told me that I act like a man. So I said, then watch and learn. Maybe you'll become one too. Male worker told me I was dressed like an old lady in front of our team. I said, only one of us is balding and it's not me.
Oh, that's too good.
Oh, I love this. These comments made me realize I can always be meaner. Suddenly I'm shopping for ideas. My computer science teacher in college, I got these like new glasses and I love them. They were like Ralph Lauren. They didn't have like a frame on the bottom, but they had like a nice like silver frame on the top. I know the type of
glasses. They were kind of skinny. Like they were super cute. I liked them a lot. And when I was wearing them, my teacher, she just did not like me. And just in front of everybody, she goes, "Did you get new glasses?" And I said, "Yeah." She was an older woman. And she was like, "They kind of look like old lady glasses, no?" And I looked her dead in her face. I said, "So you like them?" I was pissed. My friends next to me were laughing.
I would have said,
if you make that kind of comment, what can you do with my response? Like
teachers,
she was such a.
It always blew my mind. In high school, I realized how how are these teachers being this mean to us?
Yes,
this shouldn't be allowed.
The power trip that they would go. Some of the teachers would go on.
And then as an adult, I look back and I go, that was so fucked up.
Yeah.
And now I know because I've known people who are teachers and I know I'm like, oh, there's no really qualifications.
No. Yeah.
The good teachers that are out there, which I think the majority are good teachers, I'm like, praise you because that's a fucking shitty ass job.
Yeah.
And we need you and you should be paid more. But the asshole ones, like, fuck you.
There are some bad teachers.
I get that you're human.
Yeah.
I get that. We all are. But you are shaping minds and you're supposed to be a role model and you're supposed to be a safe place for kids.
Totally.
Why the fuck are you doing that shit?
Totally.
I get having a bad day.
Yeah.
And a bad day might be like, guys, I told you to fucking listen.
Yeah.
Not to bully or pick on a kid.
That was one of the main reasons why I dropped out of college was because I just didn't have time for that shit. I did not. I had moved out too early and worked too many damn jobs and lived in too many damn different fucking places to just continuously be talked down to by people who are older than me just because they're older than me. Like I couldn't do college anymore. I'm like, you know how hard I'm struggling to be here, and you want to say shit like that to me? Like I dropped out. I could not finish after two semesters. I was like, I just can't do it. This is not for me.
I think I only had one bad one bad teacher in college, and it happened to be all I feel like it's because all of my teachers were really actually great.
This one
and
was
then
just the mother.
It sucked all the fucking bad and just put it into one person. We were as a class reported her.
Oh shit.
And of course what they do is someone sits in and watches
and
the
then
class.
Teacher's fine.
They're like, oh, we didn't. I was like, of course she wasn't gonna fucking be an idiot asshole to us while you're sitting there, you dumbass. So we started logging what she said. As a class, we would get to class early because in college your teacher's not sitting there the whole time for the whole day. They go to different classrooms based on what period it is. Mm-hmm. And we would all get together beforehand. This is a class of 20 kids because it was a small college. Class of 20 kids. We'd all get there to record and talk and be like, how do we fucking get her out of here? Because she is a terrible human being.
That's awful.
But I did have one teacher. He wasn't a bad guy. He was just a really bad teacher.
Yeah.
He was on tenure. So he did the bare minimum. Yeah. Like he was literally just copying and pasting the book onto slides and reading it. And like that was it. Or he would go on some tangent about his own life that had nothing to do with anything. He just liked to talk.
Yeah. And he was there for a paycheck.
Yes. And at the end of each semester, you're supposed to do teacher evaluations where they give you the thing and you fill it all out. And at the end, it says, please let us know if there's any positive or negative things you feel you need to express here. Yeah. And he would always say, oh, and he goes, oh, and that bottom part, he's like, it's a really long explanation, like, because the description of what you're supposed to do is really long. He's like, I'll just sum it up. Basically, just write your favorite thing about the class. And I knew because I had done this so many times, I was like, what the hell?
So he's literally
because, you know, everyone's just like fucking trying to like just yes, blah, blah, blah. And at the bottom, and so everyone would just write something positive about him because no one would read the fucking paragraph description of what you're supposed to do.
That's crazy.
I was like, you
fuck,
sneaky little motherfucker.
That's crazy.
So I wrote that in my thing.
Yeah.
I wrote, he told us just to write something positive about him in this. I said, he's a decent human, but a shitty teacher.
Oh, good.
And just let it be at that because I was like, I'm not going to fucking let you get away with that shit.
That's crazy.
Because I was genuinely there to learn. He was teaching my main psych classes.
Yeah.
It wasn't even some gen ed bullshit. It was things that you had to take for the psych degree that mattered. And I wanted to learn. It was like child development.
Yeah.
And I was like, I want to learn
and you're
about
paying
that.
to be there.
I'm paying thousands.
Yeah.
I paid my college was not fucking cheap.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was fucking crazy.
School is stupid sometimes.
Yeah. Yes, it can be. Okay. I'm going to read more of these. Someone said, next time I'm going for looks. That's what she told her ex when he was bringing her. He was cheating. So I told him, you got 3 girls in your phone and you're still not happy? Maybe try dating a guy.
My ex right before Dylan, I got him to confess to cheating without knowing he actually had cheated on me by gaslighting him and saying I already knew. And so basically what happened was in the 4 years that we were together, like I had caught him talking to girls more than once, but we were living together in the same apartment and he didn't have a cell phone at this time because like a month prior to this, he broke his cell phone for whatever reason. I was the one that was always like buying new phones and stuff for him. So I was like, I'm not buying you a new phone. Yeah. Right. So he was just going without a phone. And so he left. I came home from dog training and working with rescue dogs. I totally remember this day. Came home, saw the note on my counter, and this wasn't abnormal. He just left me a note saying he's going hiking with his friends that I knew. He'll be back later that night, whatever, right? And so I'm like, okay, cool. So I'm just chilling, whatever.
The boy can't fucken text you because he didn't have a fucking phone.
Right. So I'm just chilling. Normally he would call me or text me from one of the friends' phones. Like I just didn't give a fuck. So, but then it's like midnight rolls around and I'm like, okay, it's really late.
Yeah.
2 a.m. rolls around and I'm like, okay, now it's really late. And it's not abnormal for him to come home at like maybe 1 or 2, but he would always call. Yeah. And to be honest, at this point, I'm like, and he would always go hiking too. And we have mountain lions in Santa Clarita. So my brain just started going like, what if something happened? Yeah. Right. And so I start calling his friends that he said he was with and nobody's answering, but the phones are ringing. All of a sudden, as I'm calling, all the phones start going to voicemail. So I'm like, so they shut their phone off. And I had sent text messages too. Hey, I'm looking for Chris. Is Chris with you? Blah, blah, blah. And so of course nobody answered. And so I'm just like, what the fuck? And so I started getting so freaked out at a certain point that I called hospitals to check to see if he was there. I called jails to see if he was there.
Yeah, because no one wanted to tell you something.
Right, exactly. I started really freaking out. And then finally, eventually, I called his mom and I was like, and her and I were not on speaking terms. And I said to her, I was like, I just have to tell you in case something is wrong. I feel like I need to tell you as soon as possible. I said, I have not talked to Chris in this long, blah, 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 tell her it's up. She's like, okay, I'll see if I can call his friends. Like, I'll keep you updated. So we were about to keep each other updated. It got to be to a point for so long where I'm like, I just, in my brain, I could feel it. I'm like, maybe like 5, 6 a.m. rolled around and I was like, oh my God. I was like, fuck this motherfucker. He's fucking cheating on me. Yeah. I know he fucking is. Like, I just was like so short and I'm like, he's out of I'm done. And so I start packing all his shit and throwing his shit in trash bags, right?
Yeah, because if he's not at a hospital or in jail and it's 6 a.m.
and not with his friend, like that's not normal. His friends always answered me. I knew his friends. Yeah. Like that's just not, I knew. Yeah. And so, at that point I'm like, I'm done with this. So and Dylan and I were friends at the time. So I like called Dylan crying too. And I'm like, fuck this motherfucker. Blah, 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 blah. Dylan's like, do what you gotta do. So I'm like,
break up with him.
Right. Dylan's like, yes, break up. And so I'm like packing his shit or whatever. I'm calling his mom. And I tell his mom, I'm like, I'm gonna bring him home. Like, fuck him. I feel like he's cheating on me. And so she's trying to tell me not to get ahead of myself. So this motherfucker at 9 a.m. walks through my front door in my apartment, laughing, smiling, like, oh, like, what's up? Like, it's like nothing. I'm pissed. He's looking around. He sees all the trash bags and he's like, what's up? And I'm like, grab your shit. Like, you're out of here, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, why are you freaking out? Like, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, where were you? Badgering him, right? And he's like trying to keep to this story. And again, I had already had an idea he was talking to somebody. I had heard I got him a job at a Vons when I was working for Vita Coco. Yeah. I know all the people that work in the stores. Yeah. So I was kind of hearing that he was flirting with the manager's daughter who worked at this store. Okay. And so I already kind of knew that. And so I'm like, and I kind of knew they would like smoke together and stuff like that. And mind you, I wasn't like really a jealous person. I'm like, do what you want to do. Yeah. Because that'll show me how I need to move, right?
Yes.
So I wasn't really that much of a jealous
If they're
person.
gonna cheat, let them.
Exactly. So I already had heard something. So when he walked through the door and he's like trying to hold his own, I finally just I knew the girl's name too. I can't remember it now, but I just looked at him and I was like, just tell me the truth. I just kept saying, tell me the truth, tell me the truth. And he was like, no, I was with so-and-so, I was with so-and-so. So finally I just looked at him and I say her name. He doesn't know I know anything about this girl.
Yeah.
So I say her name and I say, oh, you weren't with so-and-so? And his whole like black man, he went ghost white. And he was just like looks at me, right? And I was like, uh-huh. And so I just looked at him and I said, her and I have already talked. She's already told me everything.
Oh, you fucking bluff.
I lied. I said, her and I have already talked. We've been DMing each other for the last couple hours, like blah, blah, blah. He's like, you don't think they and mind you, every single time I caught him cheating is because the girl found me on some social media and told me.
Girl, be a girl's girl.
Yeah, so this isn't far out. Like, you know, so I'm telling him like, we've already spoken, blah, 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 this and that. And honestly, that's probably why he always came back, is because I was just like, I don't care, like go, bye, you know. And so after I say that, he's like, oh, he finally goes, we were just hanging out. And I was like, and I just go, no, you weren't. Tell me what happened. Tell me what happened. Blah, blah, blah. And I keep telling him, I already know. And he goes, she just sucked my dick.
Oh, that's it, guys.
That's it. That's all she did.
As if that's okay.
And I said, thank you. And I don't even need him to tell me they had sex. I know they had sex. So I said, thank you. I looked at him. He had about 20 black trash bags of shit. And he had so many designer clothes, all this stuff.
Yeah,
and
I
I
couldn't pay for a fucking cell phone.
It's all stolen. And so I looked at him and I said, you have
men you were with versus Dylan.
Bro, I looked at him and it was fun for a while. Never again.
You're an adult.
It kept
now.
me very excited. It was exciting, you know?
Yeah, and
like,
that shit's addicting.
Gets your nervous system fucking going. It's bad. But that's what I saw growing up too, is just fighting and all that stuff.
It's very toxic. It's addicting. And then once you get stable, you get confused and you're bored, and then you realize, and then you level out.
You don't realize how addicting like the fighting and all, like that's how you learn validation and all that stuff. And that I was done with it. And I looked at him, I said, you have 5 minutes to get as much shit as you can. I said, I'm not helping you. You can, as many bags as you can fit in my car in the next 5 minutes is as much shit as you're taking. I just want him to panic. I was fucking pissed. So he's like got like 3 bags, fucking trying to carry him down the stairs and shit. 5 minutes is up. He's running up to get more bags. My front door is locked. I'm not letting him back in. I'm pissed. I said, get in the fucking car. I go to drive him down to his mom's house, and I'm fuming because I'm trying so hard not to cry.
Because Bros doesn't have a car either.
No. And I'm fuming. I'm trying so hard not to cry because genuinely, like before our relationship, we were like almost like basically best friends for like 6 years, and genuinely was like the funniest, funniest, most like just that charismatic, like always had a fucking good time.
Yeah.
I internally was so sad because all I wanted was I thought after the relationship I had been with him before him, I thought for sure like I'm gonna be with Chris forever because I don't think I could ever trust anyone the way that I trust him. Like he's my best friend. So I was heartbroken, but I was also so angry, and I will never forget the way he's such a narcissist move. I will never forget the way he started blasting like his favorite music and was just like fucking on Instagram while I'm driving him back to his mom's house, like but I would not let anything like I would just get him there.
That's a really hard thing to learn, is just because someone's a really good friend or they Laser Away is calling me? Bitch, what? Oh, it's probably like a birthday special. We're filming this right before my birthday. Anyway, what was I fucking saying? Oh, a hard thing to learn is just because someone's a good friend doesn't mean they're going to be a good partner. Because, hey, I've had some friends who are the best. Oh my God. Laser Away. I'm busy. Jeez. If they call me again, I'm going to be a dick.
Oh, if they call you again, answer it on the podcast.
Dude, I'd be like, you just fucking ruined something. What do you want?
Yeah, you owe me $200.
I don't give a fuck. Anyway, I've had some really great friends who are phenomenal friends. And I'm talking about like females that I'm friends with who get in relationships with either women or men, and they're a terrible significant other. I'm like, ooh, that's so weird because you're such a good person. Yeah. It's just like jealousy takes over, or
trauma
takes over. Yeah, they like had friends that like cheat, and I'm like, I can't be a part of that.
Yeah.
That's a fucking gross.
I will say he had as a lot of us, but he did, knowing his, and I won't out any of that, but knowing his relationship with his family and stuff, it absolutely made sense why he was incapable of like true commitment. Like I never doubted that he truly felt I was his best friend, or like or he did truly love me. He just could not be a solid, trustworthy.
And this is what I'm going to say for when people get drunk and make mistakes. It's an explanation, not an excuse. Mm-hmm. It explains why he was like that, but it doesn't excuse his behavior.
No. And us being so young too. Like,
yeah.
And that's why I've always thought to myself, if I ever had a daughter, like, I obviously can't control her, but I feel like I would always try to encourage her, like, girl, date, get to know people, but really try to just do you until you're like 28.
Yeah, don't
commit.
Don't change who you are. Don't fucking do shit for other people. Mm-mm. Women don't fully mature until their late 20s, early 30s. And men, it's like 35 to 40.
Yeah.
And it sucks. Our Zara's husband, Clayton, he's even talked about that. He's like, men have ceviche brains till they're like 30, 35. Yeah. And he's like, we're dumb.
Yeah.
And Clayton is one of the smartest people I know. That guy is crazy smart. But he calls it ceviche brain. And he's just like, it's not fully formed.
I just feel like there's so much to figure out about yourself between 18 and 28.
You're figuring out who you are. It's a long ass journey. I saw a thing. I've seen this a couple times where it said, in your 20s, you're figuring out who you are. And in your 30s, you learn how to unlearn everything you learned in your 20s.
Absolutely. I agree with that.
And it's really hard because you're trying to figure out what you like, who you want to be, blah, blah, blah. And then you hit your 30s and you go, oh, I know who I am and what I actually need out of life.
I was telling my friend, I feel like your 30s is a huge turning point of you consciously, if you have this ability at that point, make the decision whether you're going to do better or become better or stay the way that you are.
Yes.
Yeah. Because I feel like in your 20s, that going through that type of your life at that point really highlights the things that maybe you need to work on.
Yes.
If you're paying attention.
Yeah. Abby and I were talking about this earlier today, how some people that we know are super, super privileged and they grew up in this little bubble and sheltered and shielded from everything. So they know, because they've learned, they know that things are happening, but they're like, oh, it doesn't really concern me. Mm-hmm. And they don't stand for anything because they have the privilege of not having to stand for something. Mm-hmm. And Abby mentioned, she goes, it's crazy. She's like, I love who you are as a person. And I'm really proud of you because you grew up in California, which is its own shield.
Yeah.
Southern California is its own protection against the world. We are vastly different from the majority of the United States. Mm-hmm. And she was like, I don't know how you became who you are because you stand for things and you have really good morals and you're not really a selfish person. And I was like, I don't like who I was in high school. I don't like who I was in college.
Yeah.
But I think because of I've talked about this before, my job on the internet made me self-reflect. Yeah. And made me be like, I want to be a good person and a good example. So I had to learn. Like when Black Lives Matter happened, I was like, oh shit, I have a lot of internalized stuff that I didn't even realize.
Yeah.
And I wanted to, so I put in the effort to learn. And I'm not perfect by any means. I know I still have stuff in me.
And the biggest part of that is being open to that.
Yes.
Because if you're not open, you're
never going to learn.
Yeah.
We have friends that are like, oh, no, I don't do politics. I'm like, so you don't do empathy and morals?
Yeah.
So
when I have people tell me I don't do politics, I usually just say, like, what a privilege. I wish I had that privilege.
It is literally a privilege. Yeah. And it's really sad, but that's a lot of people.
I understand when people say, oh, I'm taking a break this week. Oh, like things like that.
We all need a fucking break.
I understand that. But when people are just like, oh, I'm not paying attention at all. I'm like, good for you. Yeah. That's nice. And it cracks me up when people say, it's not really affecting me. And I'm like, do you buy groceries?
Yeah.
Do you buy products for your kids?
Are you friends with you?
Do you buy gas? Exactly. Are you friends with me?
Are you friends with me?
Exactly.
We all have our fucking shit. I had someone, I got really into politics. I want to say that, like the Hillary Clinton versus Trump was when I really, I knew stuff, but that was when I was like, oh, I got to kind of pay attention a little bit.
The first one I voted in was for Obama, I believe.
I wasn't old enough yet.
No, okay, then I wasn't old enough.
Hillary Clinton versus Trump was the first one I voted in. No. Who what was the first one it might have been Obama. Was Obama and then Trump and then Biden and then Trump, right?
Maybe not. I don't know why. Maybe it was Biden I first voted for. I don't know why I thought it was Obama. Do you know when Obama ran? It was, where does my phone?
I remember I voted for Hillary Clinton.
Hillary Clinton and Trump, I feel like, I gotta see. My brain now is.
There's no way. I had to have voted.
When was Obama president?
Look at us being dumb as shit.
Hey,
We're bad with time frames, guys.
2009
Yeah.
to 2017.
Okay, so I had to have voted for him in the second election.
Yeah,
then.
okay. I'm not tripping.
I was
Yes,
like, wait,
okay.
there's no way Hillary Clinton was the first person. I was
Yeah.
like, I was in my late 20s. No, I voted when I could. I couldn't the first time. I was a senior in high school when he first ran, and I was 17.
Yes.
So
was
I
younger
voted
than
for
you.
him the second time. Okay, that makes me feel better about
Yes.
myself. But I didn't really get into politics until it was Hillary versus Trump.
Okay.
And then I really started just opening my eyes to bullshit. And nothing had affected me because at that point I was a straight, rich white woman. Mm-hmm. So at that point I was like, it was truly, I was like, I have to fight for other people. Mm-hmm. The only part about the women's rights, but like that wasn't even a big deal to me at that time.
Yeah.
Because I was like at that point where I was like, oh, if I got pregnant, I could keep it. I don't really
I do
care.
feel like politics has gotten more popular for our generation, the younger generation, within the last like 5 to 8 years.
Well, it's because I think Trump was a huge wake-up call for everybody.
Yes.
And people were like, oh, we could have a woman president? And then we got this piece of shit man.
Yep,
And so
twice.
people are like, wait a second. We gotta show up, guys.
Yeah.
So I got into politics when it didn't affect me. And I was also had a lot of money. I was getting a lot of money at the time. My income was very large in that time frame. But I was voting for my taxes to be raised and things like I was voting kind of against myself in the money realm, but for myself in the women's rights realm.
Okay.
And then I one of our friends, like I was talking to him, this is later in life, there's a couple of years ago. She's like, well, I don't really get into politics. And she's like, I think it's really hypocritical that people only get into politics when it affects them. And I looked at her because it was so confusing for so many different reasons. And I was like, well, yeah, of course, if you think that's wrong, then why don't you get into them now before they affect you?
Yeah.
And then also I said, well, I got into them before it affected me.
Yeah.
And I said, I got into politics before I realized I was gay and before like women's rights were a huge issue in my opinion. And I was like, I got into way long ago. And she goes, oh, well, I don't know. And I was like, you don't have what do you mean?
But even that statement though just doesn't matter.
No.
Doesn't matter. Who cares when somebody or why somebody gets into politics?
And I was like, that is why people, because their rights are being attacked.
Right. That like for me personally, if somebody said that around me, I'd look at them and like I'd be like, first of all, I want you to go and look at yourself in the mirror and repeat that to yourself 10 more times.
Yeah. I was like,
second of all, I'm not even going to entertain that anymore.
No.
Like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
Like,
it doesn't make sense.
it's like somebody saying like, oh, like I don't like people who eat grapefruit only after they've tasted it. I gotta taste it first.
I gotta taste it.
Like, right?
And it's not very good.
I love grapefruit.
I can't. But I've tasted it.
See, exactly.
It's so weird. It's so weird. But we've gotten so far off topic, which I
Good
figured would
conversations,
happen.
though.
Oh yeah. All right, I'm gonna do a couple more of the
Yes.
the things you said to Ben to her 3 goes. This one is muscle shirts are for muscles, buddy.
That's so good.
You're not allowed to be on your period at the same time as me. He was quiet for a couple hours after this. I told him I was tired of being the man in the relationship. LOL, he cried. And someone said, y'all, slow down. I can't write fast enough.
So funny. Oh my gosh, my ex, I will never forget. I don't know if I told you this or not. I went to a birthday dinner for my birthday. It was me, my cousin, and my ex. And I went to the bathroom and she asked him like, hey, let's split the bill for her birthday, you know?
Yeah.
And so I'm in the bathroom and they hand the cards off or whatever. And I end up getting a text in the bathroom that says like, girl, I just asked your man like if he'll split the bill with me. And he said yes. And he dead ass just handed the waiter your card. He paid with my card.
Stop. Shout out to that friend who like let you know.
It was my cousin.
Oh, your cousin, yeah. But shit. Dude.
And then when we got in the car, I was waiting to see if he would say anything. I didn't say anything. And then when we got in the car, like he brought it up, but he was like, so like, you know, I didn't have any money on me, but like I'm gonna pay you.
Dude, you know what's super fucking embarrassing? I'm so embarrassed, but I'm telling my story so women know fucking don't put up with this shit.
Yes.
My ex didn't have a job. He never worked. I was sugar mama or whatever. But he was always embarrassed when I would go to pay for things.
Of course. So did you hand him your card?
So I would slide him my card and let him pay for things. But then I was so fucking bored of doing that. And he also stressed out because I'd be like, can you please do one thing and go to the fucking grocery store? And he's, well, I don't want to take your card because they're going to see it's not mine. It's a girl's name and not me. And he's like, so you have to go. And I was like, so I have to fucking run all the errands, pay for everything, and be the only one that works? Fine. So I ended up getting him a credit card in his name on my fucking account.
I almost did that. I'm so happy I didn't.
Don't fucking do that. Don't support these deadbeats.
My ex the one before Dylan, I put him on my car insurance and my bank account because he had such messed up crap he couldn't do either. Even after he passed away, RIP, he was still coming up like on my reports and stuff. Yeah.
Holy
I was like calling
shit.
saying like, this person, not only have we not been together for like years, I'm like, this person's not even alive anymore. Like,
holy shit.
Yeah, don't do it.
Don't fucking do it.
Don't do it.
Because he would buy me presents that were basically for him.
Yes.
On my credit card.
My ex's aunt told me something that will forever tell women, especially women who are in difficult relationships. She's flat out one day looked at me when like my ex got up, a boyfriend at the time got up and like left with his cousin to walk somewhere. And I remember she looked at me, it was when we were having a hard time and I was paying for everything. And she goes, do you have a bank account he doesn't know about? And I said, no, what do you mean? I was like, this is the one I shared everything with. And I was like, no, what do you mean? And she was like, I'm telling you, woman to woman, if there's one lesson you're ever going to learn as a woman, have a bank account that your man does not know about.
Yeah.
Period.
Do it.
Yeah.
Women or men who are in really shitty relationships and you're being abused, it's embarrassing as hell, but you gotta fucking walk away. It's embarrassing to admit defeat. It's embarrassing to admit the shit that you have let happen to you. But fuck yeah. Ask for help.
Get out.
Be the smart. Fuck out. Yeah. And it's hard because I realized it was happening and I was like, he's such a piece of shit.
Yeah.
And I just stayed because it was easier to stay. Well, no, it was less scary to stay because I knew what I was dealing with versus the fear of the unknown.
Because I loved him, I think part of it was for me too was like, it was just this weird validation of like, one day I'll be enough. I was just constantly fighting to be enough.
That was my thing. I was like, well, one day maybe he'll change. Maybe he'll do it for me. Maybe he'll be nice again. Maybe he'll do this again.
Yeah.
Like, because I
feel like I never truly thought it was me. Of course, like I had physical things where I'm like, maybe I just need to work out more. Like there's those kind of physical things, but I don't feel like from what I remember, I ever truly stopped and was like, it's because I'm this, and this. It was always just like, I'm good, but like I'm not good enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, why don't you want to be nice to me?
Yeah. And they fed off least he did. He fed off that once they pick up. It's so weird to understand that it's subconscious too. Like you think about it, like people are being so calculated, but definitely was such a weird subconscious narcissistic like.
Yeah. It's like they give you this silent treatment. And then when they finally start being nice to you again, you're so just, there's such a sense of relief that this like fucking cold shoulder is done that you're like, okay, like you don't even care about what happened. And then they're like, you're so loving on them. It really, you're like, thank you. Oh my God.
Instead of positive reinforcement, it literally is learning and loving based off of negative reinforcement. Yes. Like it's very much.
You're like, okay, like I'm ready to like let this all be behind us too. And it's like they're the ones that are an asshole and you're thanking them for stop being an asshole when really it's like, no. You're not allowed to ever be pissed.
Totally. They always want to one up you or flip the script. Like
it's always flipping the script.
But then when you try to sit down and have a conversation with them and you like are talking out loud about what the problems are, they seem so like minuscule and stupid, and you're just like, yeah.
And it's always like shit. From like the worst is when they are being such assholes, but their tone is low, and you get so frustrated that your tone gets, your voice gets raised, and they're like, you're the one yelling. Mm-hmm. I'm like, you mother.
Oh, I was a different person. That's how I know like it was the relationship and the person I was with and not who I was.
Yeah.
Because I've never been that person with Dylan.
No,
ever.
I've never raised my voice to Abby. And I never will.
I've never felt that type of like rage and anger and like, yeah.
I remember the first tiff Abby and I had. It was very early in our relationship. There is a huge learning stage of when you start dating someone new, of figuring them out, understanding them.
Totally.
And I remember the first tiff her and I got into, I think I called you and I was like, listen, this is what happened. I'm really upset and I don't know how to healthily deal with this because I'd never had a healthy back and forth between someone. It was always, I tried to come at it very calmly and then I either get the silent treatment, the cold shoulder, or blown up or manipulated or whatever. And you were like, okay, take a deep breath. And you just told me exactly what to do. And it was just so calming. You were just like, ask her how she feels that night went. Ask her viewpoint so that you can understand where she's coming from. And then you explain where you're coming from. Yeah. And it was like this very calm thing. And Abby and I, that's what I did. I called her and I was like, hey, I want to talk about last night. Let me know what you like, how you think it all went down. What was your viewpoint? And she said it and I was like, okay, this is how and we immediately saw the disconnect. Yeah. We saw what went wrong and it was so easy and it was calming. And her and I, that's how we've always had discussions now. Yeah. And it was you. I called you crying, being like, "This is what happened. I don't know. How do I do it?"
Which is so awesome. Thank you for telling me that. I love hearing that. That's awesome.
Yeah. And it was like so since then, it's that I think that tiff set the standard and the like just how we're going through with the rest of this. Yeah. And like her and I, we talk about it. We have discussions. And if we kind of get into tiff, we chill for half a second, take a deep breath, and then we discuss. It's very rare that we fight. Yeah. Where it's like we can't see eye to eye. Yeah. We're just rolling our eyes kind of thing. Yeah. That it never happens. Yeah. And it's always just like, it's so different.
So different.
When you're with a healthier person or a healthy person.
So different.
You're like, how did that happen?
Dylan's the first person I've ever been with that I haven't fought with. Of course, we have things we disagree on. We have moments where we say things out of like being passive aggressive or like frustrated or whatever, but we've never actually like fought and like ended something like, I don't want to talk to you or I blah, blah, blah. We haven't had that, thankfully, but it has proved to me that like, one, that's possible. Yeah. Two, it really just comes down to communication. Yeah. Because he's gotten a lot better at communicating too. He used to be very avoidant, where it was just like, yes, whatever you say, like, you're right, I'm wrong, kind of thing. And now he's definitely feels more comfortable to have like the spotlight and saying how he truly feels, which I think is important. Yeah. But my biggest lesson, I mean, obviously we have all these avenues now with the internet and TikTok and stuff to learn things. But my biggest, I feel like, teacher in life, and that's something that helps me find a lot of peace with all the crappy relationships I've had throughout my life, is I feel like all of that has like taught me so much, because I would constantly think growing up, like, what's the opposite of that? Yeah. You know, like what would feel, that felt awful. What would feel better? Like what do I want that I will never get from that person? But how would I do that in that situation? And I feel like that has taught me so much when it comes to communicating. But thankfully with TikTok too, I mean, I know it's just a social media platform, but I've learned so much off of there too from talking.
So much, because so people have insights that you might not be able to come to on your own, and it's nice to just hear that. Yeah, there's a lot of bullshit out there. There's a lot of fucked up shit, mindless stuff. But I've learned some really good things. That's how I figured out I was fucking gay. Yeah. Also, there's this chick that keeps popping up that makes me do the what's it called? When you clench your vagina.
Oh, the Kegels.
The Kegels. Yes. She comes up. She goes, "Ready? Let's go." And 1, 2, and I'm like, "Yeah!" And I'll do it. And I fucking do my Kegels.
Heck yeah! It's so good. I love it.
All right. Yeah, it's time. We're gonna go inside and eat some dessert that Abby's made.
I'm excited.
I had fun with you. I love you.
Love you too.
Happy birthday, me.
Happy birthday, me. Yeah. Happy birthday, you.
We're filming this what's today, the 3rd? Yeah, the 3rd. My birthday's on the 5th, so if you didn't wish me happy birthday, wish me it.
How crazy is it? Yours is April 5th, mine's August 5th.
I know, that's the only reason I can remember your birthday.
Yeah, I know, me too. Actually, no, I'm pretty good with birthdays.
I've tried to be good.
I have a photographic memory pretty well, so like if I know somebody's birthday and I'm like staring at a calendar or something, it can imprint pretty easy in my brain.
I'm jealous, because there are some people I for the life of me cannot fucking remember their birthday.
That's funny.
And I'm like, what the hell? Anyway, all right, I love you guys. I'll see you later. Follow Joy. I'll put her link to her vlog channel down below. Bye. Thank you for listening to this episode of Rachel Uncensored, the only place on the internet where you can find the uncensored version of me, Rachel Ballinger. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please like, subscribe, or follow, or do whatever this platform tells you to do so that you can get notified every time I post a new episode. Love ya!